You all remember the Sandy Hook tragedy that occurred just a couple years ago when 26 innocent people died at the hands of a madman who was able to obtain an assault rifle? Well, this caused a lot of grief, but it also sparked a gun debate. The gun debate's always been around, but in the past couple of years, it's gotten a lot bigger. There have been two opposing sides to the debate, and we'll take a look at those later. Myself, I own multiple guns, but you may think that'll make me biased on the situation, but I'm not biased. I understand that changes need to be made to the current gun situation. And I believe that if the current background check system, education system, and assault rifle bans were changed, then it would make safer America. Let's take a look at both sides of the situation, and then I'll explain my policy on how I can make America a safer place. First, you have the left wingers, who are completely against guns. They're asking for the complete withdrawal, and they're even asking for the repeal of the Second Amendment. Debate.org shows that 50% of people are in favor of the Second Amendment being repealed. Think about this, one of America's first 10 amendments being taken away. Which I can understand if you were one of those who suffered from one of the past shootings. But this is obviously not going to work because people would be outraged if the Second Amendment was taken away. It might even cause another civil war. Also, 35% of people own guns in their house just for the sake of their peace of mind. My dad is one of these. That gun's probably not even loaded, but he just has it there for my mom to feel safer and for the rest of my family to feel safer. John Lott, a leading academic on the subject of guns, pointed out that all shootings since the 1950s have occurred in places where guns are illegal. So think about that. If guns are outlawed throughout the whole country, then these madmen are still going to find ways to commit mass murders. Then you have the complete opposite side. The mainly consisted of conservatives who believe that no change is needed at all. They often bring out the quote, "Guns don't kill people, people kill people," which is a quote that I believe. Guns don't kill people. It is the people who have the guns that you can't blame the guns. But it is impossible to know whose hands the guns will fall into. So, also, the CDC reported in 2013 that 11,000 people were killed due to guns. And 997 shootings have occurred since the Sandy Hook massacre, according to the LA Times. So clearly, something needs to be done with the current gun situation. That is why I've constructed a plan of my own. I've pointed out the three biggest problems: mental illness, education, and assault weapons. With regard to the mental illness, the Indiana Law Journal in 2013 pointed out that 45% of perpetrators of gun violence have some sort of mental illness. Adam Lanza, the killer from the Sandy Hook massacre, was diagnosed with Asperger's at a young age. Depression is something in itself. The Virginia Tech massacre killer was diagnosed with severe depression in the 8th grade. The education process also needs to be changed. I myself have been through the education process, and it's honestly a joke. It's something that anyone in this room can pass, and it just consists of some simple questions online. The Washington Post recently reported about an 11-year-old killing an 8-year-old in their home with a shotgun. And the first thing that came to my mind was, how can an 11-year-old access a gun? If the owner of this gun was properly educated, he would not have left it out for an 11-year-old to get. Also, if he was educated enough to be able to tell his kids about the dangers of gun violence, then this tragedy might not have happened. And finally, there's no need for assault rifles in today's society. You can't hunt with them, and they serve no better purpose for self-defense than any other gun. The FBI crime report that over half of the mass shootings in the past decade have occurred the shooters have used high magazine assault rifles or high magazine assault handguns. This plan can be very easily executed in solving all the issues. For the mental illness part, better background checks need to be taken before just distributing guns to anyone. And people who do have mental problems but are able to obtain the guns need to go through yearly tests or even more frequently to make sure that their mental state is okay. But education can easily be changed. There needs to be at least 10 hours of in-class education for each person trying to obtain a weapons license. Also, these classes need to involve pictures and videos reminding of past massacres and shootings, reminding how bad the gun violence is. Finally, the assault weapons should be sold to the military, which sounds like it could be a very long process, but if the local governments would just buy the guns from each of the registered owners and then give them to the military, this could help America in both ways because it would also give the military a cheap supply of ammunition and weapons. If these three points if these three actions are taken, then America will be a safer place. Background checks, education, and assault rifle bans are all that's needed, not a complete abolishment of guns. These actions are the key to a safer place. And with the upcoming presidential election, I know that gun rights will be a big part of the debate, and I hope that whoever is elected will choose a plan for gun violence that closely resembles mine, and then we will all be in a safer world. Thank you.